Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into a really fascinating collection of updates from the tech world.
Yeah, lots happening. We've got earnings calls from the giants, Apple, Amazon, Google.
Right, and then there's the explosive growth we're seeing from platforms like Reddit and Roblox.
Definitely worth talking about. And even a look at SpaceX, pushing the boundaries in space travel.
Exactly. So we'll pull out the most important insights, maybe some surprising facts, just to help you navigate this fast-paced world of innovation.
Sounds good. Let's jump in.
Okay, let's unpack this. Apple first. We keep hearing about their AI plans. Tim Cook mentioned on the recent earnings call, didn't he,
Yeah.
that they already have something like 20 generative AI capabilities in the current iPhone.
He did, yeah. And when we say generative AI here, we're talking about things like, advanced photo editing suggestions, maybe smarter text predictions.
The stuff that writes sentences for you.
That kind of thing, yeah. Or on-device summarization, condensing articles instantly. Useful stuff, but maybe not headline-grabbing AI just yet.
Okay, but the big Apple Intelligence step up, the one everyone's sort of anticipating, that's still a way off.
Apparently so. It looks like it's expected next year now, which, is 2 years after it was initially kind of promised or hinted at.
Right, and what's fascinating here, especially if you're watching the market.
Exactly. For investors, this delay has a pretty direct implication.
Which is?
It essentially pushes back the iPhone replacement cycle, the big surge in sales when a new model drops.
Usually around September.
Right. That likely gets pushed from this September to next year at the earliest.
So the stock might not get that usual boost because the big reason to upgrade the major AI integration isn't quite here yet.
Precisely. It kind of forces Apple to play defense, maybe, turning that desire for the latest iPhone into something people might, wait on.
That makes sense from a financial angle. But what about user loyalty? Does this delay give Android competitors an opening, especially since they seem to be pushing AI features now?
That's the big question, isn't it? Could users shake loose, as some analysts put it?
Because Google's doing things differently.
Absolutely. Look at Google Alphabet. They're not really waiting. They're aggressively putting Google Gemini and other AI features into, everything, including Android itself.
So the risk for Apple is?
The risk is that your iPhone gets another year older, and meanwhile, Android comes out with some really cool, genuinely useful AI features.
Something that makes you think, maybe it's time to switch.
Exactly. And you see companies like Samsung innovating fast with foldable phones too. It's not just AI. If Apple doesn't give a compelling AI reason to upgrade soon, that loyalty could definitely be tested.
Yet, despite all that and, the tariff talks and everything, Apple seems remarkably resilient in places like China. How are they managing that? Is it just the brand?
It's more than just the brand, I think. I mean, the brand power is huge, obviously. Product quality, too. But they've also been quite clever with pricing, making adjustments, using local subsidies, maybe.
The strategic moves.
Definitely. Now, their growth in the June quarter was slightly inflated by what they call pull forward.
What's that?
Basically, about 1% of their growth came from U.S. users buying iPhones early.
Trying to beat potential future tariffs.
Exactly. Borrowing sales from the future, in a sense. But even with that, they still grew a healthy 10% overall.
Which is pretty good.
It is. But the market always looks ahead, right? So the focus is intensely on the next iPhone cycle. What innovations are really coming, especially around AI and, let's be honest, improving Siri.
Yeah, Siri could use a boost.
Yeah.
What about their M&A strategy for AI?
Yeah.
Buying companies. Tim Cook said something about being open to it.
He did. He said they're very open to M&A, but Apple's approach is, classic Apple. Very disciplined, very focused, meaning you won't see them doing massive, splashy acquisitions. Think smaller, strategic buys. Companies that can sort of plug into the ecosystem, enhance their talent in specific areas.
Right. Not buying a whole AI platform.
Probably not. They generate so much cash and they own their whole ecosystem, right? So they're not rushing to commit to any single partner or buy a huge AI model. They can afford to wait, watch, and pick the perfect little pieces.
That discipline is key to their success, but sometimes you wonder if it makes them a bit slow to react to really big shifts.
It's always that balance, isn't it?
Okay, let's pivot to Amazon. They obviously have hardware, but the big story is usually AWS, the cloud business.
Yeah.
How are they faring in this AI race?
Right. So AWS, they reported 17% revenue growth. which, okay, met analyst expectations,
Oh,
but it kind of paled in comparison to their main rivals. Microsoft Azure grew 34%, and Google Cloud also gained significant ground.
17% versus 34%. It's a big gap.
It is. And maybe more concerning for Amazon was the margin pressure on AWS. Cloud margins dropped quite a bit, down to 32% from 39% the previous quarter.
Ouch. While the others went...
Well, Google's and Microsoft's cloud margins were through the roof, apparently, so it suggests maybe a deeper competitive issue for Amazon.
Okay, but wait. If demand for cloud, especially for AI, is so high, shouldn't they have pricing power? If they were running out of capacity, wouldn't they charge more, not see margins shrink?
That's exactly the puzzle analysts are chewing on, why the margin's squeezing.
So what's the theory?
The sort of prevailing view is that Amazon might actually be losing business because their competitors are price competing and taking away clients.
A price war, basically. An aggressive fight for market share.
Seems plausible. Now, you have to remember, Amazon is still the biggest player in cloud by a long shot, like 65% bigger than the next competitor. And something like 85% of companies are still using physical servers. They all need to move to the cloud eventually. So some argue this could just be a short-term problem for Amazon as the market shifts.
But investors might be getting impatient. It feels like Amazon always prioritizes long-term investment over immediate profits.
That's definitely their pattern. You see it with Project Kuiper, their satellite internet thing, spending billions, no revenue yet. Or Alexa Plus, 10 years, tons of expenses, unclear revenue, same-day delivery, hugely capital intensive.
So how does their AI strategy fit into that? Is it different from Google and Microsoft?
It is quite different, actually. They have a very clear strategy, which seems to be host everybody else's AI cloud on theirs.
Okay, explain that.
While Google and Microsoft are building their own big proprietary AI models and services to sell directly, Amazon seems more focused on just providing the underlying infrastructure. They just want the cloud fees.
So they're not trying to build the best AI chef, they're building the biggest kitchen for all the AI chefs.
That's a great analogy, yeah. They want to be the utility, the foundation for everyone else's large language models and AI apps. It's a different bet, maybe more resilient long-term than trying to pick the winning proprietary model.
Interesting. Hosting the revolution rather than leading it directly.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
A unique play, for sure.
Okay, shifting from the giants to maybe a different kind of digital space. Let's talk about Reddit. They had a really strong quarter, which surprised some people after their slightly bumpy road to IPO.
Yeah, quite a turnaround story shaping up there. They showed really broad-based strength, 70% growth in ad revenue, both in the U.S. and internationally.
Like 70, that's huge.
It really is. Plus, user growth was solid, around 21%, and active advertisers jumped 50% compared to last year.
Wow. So what's behind that? Is it just momentum, or did they change something?
Their COO put it down as an output of our investments in building better tools and capabilities for marketers. So it sounds like strategic effort paying off, not just luck.
And are they exploring new ways to make money? I heard something about Reddit Answers. What's that about?
Right, Reddit Answers. They're pitching it as a very distinctive destination search experience.
Different from Google, how?
Instead of just summarized info, it aims to provide real perspectives from real people. You know, context, actual human experiences, anecdotes.
So if I search for how to fix something, I get stories from people who actually tried different things.
Exactly that. And they believe that as usage grows, monetization follows naturally. Because think about it, a lot of searches are naturally commercial in nature. People trying to decide what to buy, where to go.
Comparing products, looking for solutions. Yeah, I can see how ads fit there.
It's potentially a gold mine of user intent.
Now, there was some noise about friction with AI companies like Anthropic over using Reddit data for training models. How are they handling that?
Yeah, the whole data licensing thing is complex. Without getting into specific disputes, Reddit's official line is that they're still learning and open to conversations.
But they must realize their data is valuable now.
Oh, absolutely. They emphasize how often Reddit content is cited by these large language models, LLMs. It makes Reddit essential to the internet in this AI era, they argue.
Which definitely increases its value in the world of AI.
No doubt. And it's not just the U.S. Their international growth is also impressive, 20% of revenue now, with that 70% ad growth internationally we mentioned.
How are they boosting that?
Smart stuff. Using AI themselves for machine translation to make it easier for non-English speakers, partnering locally, like promoting telenovela communities in Brazil or football discussions in Germany. It's quite dynamic.
Very interesting. Okay, let's jump to another platform seeing crazy numbers. Roblox. Just phenomenal increases there, especially expanding beyond their original younger audience.
Incredible scale. Over 111 million daily active users now. It's mind-boggling.
And they have these huge cultural moments like that Grow a Garden game.
Yeah, that sounds simple, right? But it became this massive meme. It's one of 5 experiences on Roblox that now have over 10 million daily active users.
10 million daily for one game.
Yeah. And get this. Grow a Garden apparently set a Guinness World Record for the largest simultaneously played game ever, with over 20 million concurrent players at its peak.
20 million people playing a virtual gardening game at the same time. Wow.
It shows the power of the platform. And importantly, their user base is aging up. The 13-plus segment grew 64% year-on-year.
So they're keeping users as they get older.
Exactly. Their big vision. They want 10% of the entire global gaming content market running on Roblox. They're at about 3% now.
Ambitious. And are creators keeping up? Is new content driving this?
Seems like it. 4 of their top 5 most popular experiences were actually created just within the last year, so that the creator economy there is really innovating.
What about revenue? Is it mostly ads now, or still users buying Robux?
Advertising is definitely seen as a significant opportunity, especially with that older demographic growing. But the big driver for their recent bookings growth over 50% in Q2 was still users spending Robux on virtual items, experiences, you name it.
So the core virtual economy is still booming.
Very much so. They have launched video advertising, though, and are opening it up to more creators, so that's a stream to watch.
And they're helping creators connect with big brands too, right?
Yeah, that's a really interesting angle. They facilitate these IP licensing deals. So you get official NFL experiences or stuff based on Stranger Things or Squid Game built by Roblox developers.
That sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
Brands get engagement, developers get paid.
Totally. Roblox even talks about fostering billion-dollar studios on the platform and making it easier for successful studios to get acquired. They want a whole M&A ecosystem within Roblox.
That's a big vision. What about safety, though? Always a concern with platforms popular with kids?
Absolutely crucial. They consistently say safety is their top priority. And they seem proactive. They've developed things like video-based age estimation and filter content aggressively, often getting ahead of regulations like the UK's Online Safety Act.
Good to hear they're being proactive there.
Yeah, it's a necessary focus for them.
Okay, we've covered AI battles, thriving digital worlds, but innovation's also literally reaching for the stars. Let's talk SpaceX for a minute.
Yeah, let's blast off. The recent Crew 11 launch to the ISS was pretty cool.
What happened there?
Well, it was a SpaceX Falcon 9 carrying 4 astronauts. They actually had to scrub the launch the day before due to a minor issue.
Okay.
Only by about 23 hours. They launched successfully the next day. And here's the amazing part. Despite that one-day delay, the rocket and the Dragon capsule arrived at the International Space Station at the exact same time as originally scheduled.
How is that even possible?
Incredible mission planning and orbital mechanics, adjusting the trajectory just right. It really shows their flexibility and precision.
That's just mind-blowing engineering.
It really is. And the launch itself, hitting milestones like Max Q, that's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the rocket.
Most stressful moment.
Structurally, yeah. Executed flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Then the stage separation and, of course, the booster landing perfectly back on Earth. Still amazing to watch every time. Reusability and action.
And this crew wasn't just NASA astronauts, right?
Right.
It was international.
That's right. Ties into geopolitics, actually. The commander, Zena Codman, was on her first flight. She got the command seat partly because of the ongoing delays with Boeing's Starliner.
Ah, so SpaceX is picking up the slack there.
Definitely. Then there was a Japanese astronaut on his second trip, and importantly, a Russian cosmonaut, Oleg Platonov, making his first space journey.
A Russian on a U.S. commercial flight.
Yeah.
Interesting timing.
Very. And it connects to the fact that the interim NASA head recently met with his Russian counterpart. Because frankly, without SpaceX being so reliable, the U.S. would likely still depend heavily on Russia's Roscosmos agency for rides to the ISS, especially with Starliner's issues.
So space cooperation continues, despite tensions on the ground.
It seems to be one of the few areas where that long-standing U.S.-Russia cooperation persists. It's almost like a diplomatic back channel in orbit.
Fascinating. So in this modern space race, how dominant is SpaceX now?
Utterly dominant, honestly. As a private U.S. company, they're responsible for something like 85 to 90% of all payload launched to orbit. Humans, satellites, cargo, you name it.
85 to 90%. Wow. What about other countries? China?
China is definitely increasing its space activity, building its own station, launching more frequently, and some Gulf states have ambitions too. But nobody comes close to SpaceX's operational tempo right now.
And that's down to reusability, changing the economics.
Absolutely. They have vastly changed the cost equation, making a seat to orbit cost several $1,000,000 per person. Still a huge amount of money, obviously, but dramatically cheaper than it used to be. It's opened up space.
So what's next? Where does space exploration go from here?
Well, the ISS itself is aging. It's scheduled to be decommissioned and deorbited by 2030. It still needs maintenance and crews until then, though.
So continued missions needed.
For sure. Looking beyond that, you have Elon Musk's Starship, the biggest rocket that humankind has ever built. That's key to Mars' ambitions and heavier payloads. It has that wild catch-it mechanism for the booster.
Instead of landing legs.
Right. They're planning the next full test flight soon. But maybe the biggest shift is towards the private sector, building the next space stations.
Not governments.
Less so. The idea is commercially operated stations, funded differently, potentially opening doors for more research, maybe even manufacturing or tourism eventually. The future of orbit looks increasingly private.
From AI transforming our devices, to platforms building vast digital worlds, to private companies literally reaching for the stars. That's a lot.
It really is. The pace is just relentless.
So what does this all mean for you trying to keep up with it all? We've seen how companies are battling it out in AI, how places like Reddit and Roblox are creating new kinds of online communities and economies, and how even space travel is being redefined.
Innovation definitely isn't slowing down. And you see how these different areas, cloud, AI, social platforms, even space, are all starting to connect and influence each other.
Yeah, the lines are really blurring. So maybe the question isn't just what cool new tech is coming next, but really how quickly is all this going to reshape our daily lives? What new opportunities and, yeah, what new challenges will it bring?
That's the big question to chew on, I think. What's the ripple effect of all this rapid change?
Definitely something to think about.
For sure.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.